Hi, boys and girls. Today you're going to have a monstrous adventure. Yes, today you'll be creating monsters inspired by these that you see created by a street artist named Fetus. Now, a street artist? What is street art? Street art is art that is created in the streets, not on the streets, but on the walls of buildings, usually with beautiful bright colors, lines, shapes, and colors. These monsters were created by the street artist Fetus, who said he brought monstrous expressionism to his characters. All of our monsters today will be coming together in a large mural. Sorry, we're not going to paint directly on the walls like the street artist Fetus does, but instead we're going to be pinning up our monsters to the brown paper on our bulletin board. Your substitute will help you with this today when you're finished. I can't wait to see what monstrous creatures you come up with today. Let's remember to watch carefully to directions, use our class time wisely, and if for some reason you don't get something finished up today, we'll finish it up when I return. So let's get started. These are just a few examples of some monstrous creatures we have created. These are going to be collaged today out of paper. You're going to add pattern and variety of pattern and color with oil pastels. You're going to use our glue cups and brushes to very carefully collage everything together. And finally, add emphasis, one of the important principles of art that makes important parts of our creatures stand out, like funny eyebrows or eyelashes, lipstick or teeth. Let's get creative.
Now I have selected a square that I want to start creating my monster with. When I lay it down, it doesn't look so square to you anymore, but it is. It's a nice big square. I'm going to start off by making it not a square anymore and taking some funky scissors and rounding off the corners. To do that, I start at one corner, turn the paper as I'm cutting to create a funky curve. I'm rounding off all four corners. If you'd prefer to have a square monster, that's okay. I like a little funky interest on mine. Now that I have my rounded corners, I'm going to start by selecting the color family of oil pastels that goes with my paper. I selected a pink paper, so that is part of the warm color family. So I know I could also use red, orange, it's a different orange too, yellow, pink, and there's a slightly different pink. And if you had chosen a cool color construction paper, then you know you could select your greens, blues, or purples. But I have my warm colors here. I like this yellow orange too. And I'm going to use my warm colors here to start dividing up my paper with a variety of line and shape. I have a straight line. And now I have added another crazy line, and I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 different spaces. I might come here and just divide that space up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different spaces. In each one of these spaces, I am going to add a different pattern. Here, I'm going to work on diagonal lines and add some variety with my diagonal lines by coming in and making some of them thick and leaving some of them thin. And in my next space, I'm going to again use more variety by changing colors and create another design. Now we know that since we're using oil pastels, we're going to try not to drag our hands across because we know that smudges and smears. So we're going to be very careful as we're working. Okay, now that we have lovely line, pattern, and color on our monster, we're going to start adding our monster features. At your table, you have some different tracers that could help you with eyes, nose, perhaps, maybe ears, glasses, whatever you'd like to create. You don't have to use the tracers, but I think they're very helpful. Now, you also have scrap papers of different sizes. We want to remember that as we're using our scrap papers, it's really helpful to your teacher and your table mates if you don't put your tracers right in the middle of your scrap papers. You always want to start off to the edge or the corner. That way you have less cutting to do and you've saved a tree and saved this extra paper for a friend. Now, the monsters that you saw in the street art that we looked at just a few minutes ago have quite a variety of different facial features and personality. So I'm not going to make my two eyes the same. I'm going to have one larger eye and trace carefully, and one smaller eye. Now that I've traced them, I'm going to cut them out. Now, sometimes when I trace, I accidentally get some pencil that I didn't cut out, so I'm just going to turn those over and have pretty clean sides on the other side. Now remember, if you have oil pastel fingers, don't wipe your fingers all over the place. Now, I'm going to jump in and use some other colors besides my warm colors, and I'm going to create a pupil and iris. Now I think I'm going to create this one to be mostly blue and a little speck of white for some reflection there. But I want some variety, so I think this eyeball, it's gonna be green or maybe swirly. Ooh, that's sort of fun. And I like to outline to show emphasis and design. Okay, ooh, I think this one needs a little outlining here. I like it. Okay. Now, I'm starting to get a little bit of fingerprints on my work, and I want to be careful not to smear anymore. So when I come here to add my eyeballs to my monster, I'm not going to rub on the front. At my table, I have a brush and a little bit of glue. Just going to barely dab the glue. I'm going to go around the edges. Remember, there's no need for it in the middle, as long as the edges are secure. And when I go to place my eyeballs, I'm going to lay them down. I'm going to turn my monster over and secure them by rubbing the back. That way, my oil pastel on the front is not smeared, but my eyes are really well attached. Okay, now with my other materials, I'm going to come back in and add other features. I'm going to add some eyelids, maybe some eyebrows, maybe a mustache, maybe crazy lips, maybe glasses, whatever creative things strike. Now, since I do want an eyelid and I want it to match the size of my eye, I'm going to take my same eyeball tracer here on the corner of my scrap paper, like I'm making another eye. But instead of being a whole eye, cut it in half. And now I have an interesting eyelid. You can also free draw on the scrap paper any parts you'd like crazy mustaches, or I have crazy lips here. Just remember to start drawing to one side or the other. So all this extra paper, someone else can use. Now that my monster has awesome line, shape, color, pattern, variety, by its different eyeball colors and its variety and patterns, the last thing I'm going to add is emphasis. Emphasis is an important principle of art. And in this case, my emphasis is going to be outlining. I am going to outline in a nice dark color, and I'm going to add some detail like eyelashes and eyebrow hairs and some outlining on my lips. I do this last because I don't want it to smear. Now, my crazy monster is complete. I'm going to turn it over one more time, press down those pieces I added, and write my name.
And there's our monster. So boys and girls, when I return, I hope I hear a positive report about your behavior and see that you have worked hard on being creative monster makers. Have fun. I'll see you soon.